God established a testimony in Jacob.
That's right.
The men that wrote these writings down in this Bible, that wrote these testimonies in this Bible, these was your forefathers. That's what they've been hiding from us for hundreds of years. But now in these last days, we bringing it out. And we ain't scared.
That's right.
We the men that's gonna come out here and tell the truth. And we don't give a damn who say nothing about it. But we think we African Americans, they have not suffered any judgment for this. They got a final judgment coming. Read that.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Who led the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans into captivity?
Bring it out.
Who led these people into captivity? Who brought us over here from the west coast of Africa and on slave ships, on cargo slave ships?
White man.
The so-called white man. And you ain't scared to say it. He's a white man. Ain't scared to say it at all. That's who did it. Who came over here and conquered the so-called Native Americans, what they call the Hispanics today, what they call the American Indians, the conquistadors, the Spaniards, the so-called white man. They haven't suffered their judgment yet. Read from the top again.
He that leadeth into captivity,
they led us into captivity. Read.
Shall go into captivity.
One day, they're going to go into captivity. Because God is a just God. All right? Read.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
No, maybe, might be.
Must be killed with the sword.
Because God is a just God. Judgment is coming to the nations that put us in slavery. Judgment is coming for the nations that kill us down to this day.
Right.
To this day. And the Christians talking about God loves everybody. Ain't that something? What's your name, bro?
You want to know why this happened?
We going through that right now. Give me Deuteronomy 28. Why did we go into slavery? We didn't just go into slavery. The so-called blacks, the Hispanics, and the Native American Indians went into slavery.
That's right.
Those are our brothers too. All right? Even though they separate, they divide and conquer us with language and religion, we brothers. All right? And that's what we got to do. Imagine if we all got back together. All right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. This is what happened to us.
Okay, I'm gonna read out.
You gotta go?
Yeah,
Did you get a flyer?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, get in tune with us, bro. All right, read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
This is Moses in the wilderness talking to the Israelites. Thousands of years ago. He told the Israelites, this is going to happen. This is going to come to pass. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans did not listen to the voice of God, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So you understand what that said, bro? It said, if we didn't keep God's commandments, then we was going to be cursed as a people.
Right.
All right, give me Psalm 78 and verse 5. God gave us the laws and the commandments for our good. All right? And that's why we was wise above all nations that was upon the earth. The other nations looked at us like and they said we was a wise and understanding nation.
Right.
But when we start walking away from God's laws, turning on God, we got put on the bottom of the barrel. And that's what Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68 is showing. It's showing the things that Moses said was going to happen to us, which actually happened to us. We still suffer those curses today.
Right.
Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78 and verse 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob.
God established a testimony in Jacob.
That's right.
The men that wrote these writings down in this Bible, that wrote these testimonies in this Bible, these was your forefathers. That's what they've been hiding from us for hundreds of years. But now in these last days, we bringing it out. And we ain't scared.
That's right.
We the men that's going to come out here and tell the truth. And we don't give a damn who say nothing about it. Read.
And appointed a law in Israel.
And that's why we on the bottom of the barrel today. Because the law that the Lord appointed in Israel, we don't like to keep. We got to come back to keeping God's law. Why are we afraid to be rulers of society as a people? Why are we afraid to step into our greatness? Come here, pull up. Let me show you something, sis. Why are we afraid to be great as black men and black women?
Bring it
What are
up.
we scared of? Go back to Deuteronomy 28. Let's finish showing them what happened to us. Verse 15 again. Listen up, sis. This is what happened to us. This was Moses telling us something a long time ago. What's your name? Cora? Listen to this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Moses said it's going to happen in the future. This was way back then in the wilderness. You know anything about the story of Moses? What's your name, bro? Aiden? You know anything about the story of Moses? So Moses was an Israelite, all right? We was in Egypt serving our slavery. The so-called Israelites is these people right here, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
We lost that title. We don't know who we are.
Right.
Because we didn't keep God's laws and we went into slavery. Now we're African Americans. Now we're Negroes. Now we're Hispanics, Mexicans. Our nationalities have been changed because we didn't keep God's laws, so we cursed. We was a blessed people, but now we're a cursed people. We got to get back to being a blessed people.
Right.
Turn around, look at the community. Trash every damn where. Houses look like missiles that dropped through the roof. I'm going through what happened to us.
Right.
All right? If you know what happened to us in the past, we know how to fix it and make our future better. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you Israelites don't listen to the voice of God, where's the voice of God? In this book right here, the Bible. What this book say, this ain't no regular book. Give me John 6 and 63, because we think this is a regular book that man came up with. Man was sitting around, oh, I got an idea for a dope book. No. The Lord put the spirit on the men, your forefathers, to write this book.
Right.
This book ain't got nothing to do with people that look like this here.
Right.
These are your forefathers. With the blood that's flowing in your veins, you the ancestors of these men here.
Right.
All right? Read that.
The book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth.
It's the spirit that's able to change. Read.
The flesh profited nothing. The words that I speak unto you.
The what that I speak unto you, he's speaking to us through this Bible. Read.
They are spirit and they are life.
This is what's going to bring you back to life. Why didn't they? Now you know why they didn't want us to read in slavery. They didn't give a damn about you reading the Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. They didn't want you to read this. They didn't want the spirit that's in this book to bring you back to life. This is the spirit of Christ in this book.
That's right.
Revelation 19 and 10. These are prophecies in this book.
That's right.
All right, and when we read the prophecies in this book, it's going to resonate with your spirit. What happened to us in Deuteronomy 28, what the Lord said was going to happen, actually happened to us.
Right.
All this stuff is documented in the Bible.
Right.
This is our history book.
Bring it out.
All right, and we ain't afraid to come out here and say it. We ain't afraid to come out here and say that the so-called white man lied to us.
That's
Right.
He told us this is Jesus.
Right.
Hundreds of years we've been believing this was Jesus.
Right.
No problem. We've been serving this as Jesus. But then when we read the Bible and find out that this here is Jesus, he looked like us, now everybody got a problem with it. Nobody's ever questioned this, but now when we bring out the truth, everybody wants to question that. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me,
This is the angel talking to John the Revelator. Read.
see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant.
An angel told John, which is one of your forefathers, one of your people. An angel told him, don't worship me. I'm your what?
I am thy fellow servant.
I am thy fellow servant. I'm one of your brothers. This is what they've been hiding from us. We're like angels.
That's
We're
right.
literally gods on this earth.
That's right.
That's why they don't want you reading this Bible.
Bring it out.
Read.
And of thy brethren.
And of thy brethren. This is an angel talking to one of your forefathers. He's saying, I'm your brother. We don't even realize the power that we have if we come back to God's laws. Read.
That have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
So that's what's in this book. The testimony of this is the spirit. This is the Lord's spirit. When you read this book and you start following what this book says, the Lord's spirit comes upon you.
That's
All right? That's why they didn't want us to read. That's why you can have a staff on a slave plantation, about 15 people on the slave plantation, 300 strong slaves. But guess what? We didn't have the spirit of the Lord in us. That's why they was able to to tell us what to do. Go get this nigga, big old buck, 6'7", strong as hell, little white man telling them what to do. We didn't have the spirit in us. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. This is how we fail. We stopped keeping God's law. And this is proof that this is our Bible. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 16. What are our conditions in the city, sis? What are our conditions in the city? How do blacks, Hispanics live in the city? Look around you. Look at that big pile of trash over there. All right, where's that building with the hole in the house? Where's that house with the hole in the top of it? Look at that. Look at one right here. Holy smokes. How are our conditions in the city? Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Moses told the Israelites, it said, cursed shall you be in the cities. Why? For not keeping God's laws. You got kids? You ain't got no kids. But guess what? You got brothers, you got nephews, you got cousins. You got to worry about them getting in gangs. You got to worry about them getting damn shot in our communities. We can't even enjoy the parks in our communities because something might go down. Niggas might shoot at each other. But the other nations, this ain't talking about the white man, because you see them walking their dogs in their park.
Bring it out.
You see them jogging in their park.
Right.
You see them riding their bikes in their park. What you see in our parks? Folks getting drunk, folks fighting, folks shooting at each other. You gotta watch your kids close because something might happen to them. Our kids getting kidnapped. We cursed in the city. This is talking about us.
Nation is men leading by example.